I'm 76 years old, and lately I keep thinking about the people I didn't listen to. Not the loud ones, not the ones who tried to control me. The quiet ones, the ones who spoke once or twice, gently, and then stopped. At this age, time feels different. It doesn't stretch forward anymore, it presses in from behind. Most mornings I wake up before the sun, not because I need to, but because sleep doesn't hold me the way it used to. In that quiet, names come back to me, faces, voices, things that were said in passing and ignored like background noise. I'm not telling this because I expect forgiveness. I don't even know who would give it now. I'm saying it because I don't have much time left to lie to myself. When I was younger, I thought listening meant agreeing. I didn't want to agree. I wanted to move forward. I wanted to build something. I wanted to be right. In my 20s, I was always in a hurry, not outwardly. I still sat at dinner tables. I still nodded during conversations. But inside, I was already gone, thinking about work, thinking about money, thinking about what came next. My father used to talk slowly. That alone made me impatient. He would start a sentence, stop, clear his throat, look out the window, then come back to it. By the time he finished, my mind had wandered somewhere else. I told myself I already knew what he was going to say, that it was old advice, meant for another time. He warned me once about burning through people, the way you burn through fuel. He didn't say it harshly, he said it like an observation. I remember nodding, half smiling, already thinking about the drive home. I didn't listen. My mother was different. She didn't warn. She asked questions. Are you tired? Do you like the man you're becoming? When was the last time you rested? Those questions irritated me more than lectures ever could. They felt like interruptions, like she was slowing me down on purpose. I told myself I'd answer them later, when things settled, when I had more time. There was always supposed to be more time. In my 30s, life filled up fast. Marriage, children, a job that demanded more every year. None of it was bad. That's important to say. I wasn't reckless. I wasn't cruel. I showed up. I paid bills. I kept promises. From the outside, it looked like a good life. But listening takes more than presence. It takes patience. It takes humility. It takes the willingness to pause your own momentum. I didn't have that. My wife tried to tell me when something was wrong. She never accused, she described. She said she felt like she was speaking to my back. Like I was always half turned away. I remember feeling misunderstood, offended even. I was working for us, building something stable. Didn't that count? I listened to the words, but not the meaning. I heard complaint, not loneliness. There were nights she sat at the kitchen table after the kids were asleep, talking about small things. A comment someone made, a moment from the day. I thought those conversations were optional. I didn't realize they were the relationship itself. I'd say, can we talk about this tomorrow? Tomorrow became a habit. Friends tried too. One of them told me I was hard to reach, not physically, emotionally. He said conversations with me felt like leaving voicemails. I laughed it off. Told him he was overthinking. We stopped calling each other not long after. No argument, no falling out, just silence settling in naturally like dust. That's how most losses happen. Quietly, without announcement. At work, there were people who saw things coming before I did. Colleagues who warned me about burnout, about choosing visibility over substance, about confusing responsibility with worth. I brushed it aside. I was productive, I was needed, I was respected. Or so I thought. The damage didn't show up all at once. It crept. Missed birthdays that seemed replaceable. Conversations postponed until they felt awkward to restart. Apologies mentally composed, but never spoken. I told myself I'd make it up later. Later is a dangerous word. It sounds generous, it is. The turning point didn't come with drama. It came with a phone call. My father had been sick for a while, not suddenly, gradually, the kind of illness that gives you false confidence. You think there's time because there's no emergency. One afternoon, my sister called and said he was asking for me. I remember hesitating. I had a meeting, an important one, I told myself. I said I'd come the next day. He died that night. I've replayed that moment more times than I can count, not because of guilt alone, but because of the clarity that followed, the sharpness of it. All the things I assumed he'd say again. All the time I thought I'd get back. Gone. At the funeral, people told stories about him I'd never heard. Small kindnesses, quiet decisions, ways he'd shown up when no one noticed. I realized then how little I truly knew him. Not because he was distant. Because I was. My mother stopped asking questions after that. She talked less, smiled more, a thin smile. I noticed too late that she was preparing to be alone. My marriage didn't end in shouting. It ended in exhaustion. We became polite, efficient, careful. We talked about schedules and groceries and nothing that mattered. When she finally said she didn't feel heard anymore, I wanted to argue, to explain, to defend years of effort. Instead, I sat there, realizing I didn't know how to listen anymore. Not really. By the time I tried, she was already gone in ways that don't reverse. There are regrets you can work through. And then there are the permanent ones. I'm 76 now. Many of the people who tried to reach me are dead. Others are strangers. Some are memories that no longer belong to anyone else. I can't call my father back. I can't ask my mother what she meant by those questions. I can't sit across from my wife, as the man I am now, and ask her to explain what she needed. That version of me arrived too late. What hurts most isn't that I failed. It's that I dismissed wisdom because it didn't match my pace. I thought listening was passive, something you do when you have time. I didn't understand it was an act of love. Now days are quieter. Not peaceful, quiet. People assume old age brings reflection naturally. It doesn't. It brings opportunity for it, and a lot of people use that opportunity to distract themselves. I don't want to do that. So if you're listening to this, I'm not here to instruct you. I don't have that authority. I can only tell you what I learned the slow way. The people who speak gently are often the ones worth hearing most. The ones who don't repeat themselves. The ones who stop trying after a while. When someone tells you how they feel, believe that they're trusting you with something fragile, even if you don't understand it yet. Don't wait until the meaning becomes obvious through loss. That kind of understanding is expensive. You don't have to agree with everyone. You don't have to change immediately. But listen as if the moment won't come back. Because it won't. If this meant something to you, sit with it. You don't need to do anything dramatic. Just notice who's speaking to you quietly, and whether you're already planning your response instead of hearing them. As for me, I live with what I didn't listen to. I carry it carefully now. There's still time to be honest, even if there isn't time to fix everything. That has to be enough. This is me at 76, finally listening. Like, subscribe, and comment.